Welcome to Echoes of the Forgotten Realm, a story of curiosity, fear, and the thin line between the living and the forgotten. Take a deep breath, close your eyes, and listen closely because some echoes are not meant to be heard. It was nearly midnight when Elara reached the edge of the forest. The path ahead was swallowed by fog, and at its end, the old manor waited, a place no one had entered in 50 years. She tightened her cloak and stepped forward. Each step crunched on wet gravel. Lightning flashed, and for a second, she saw the manor's gate, a raven perched atop, watching her with glassy eyes. The gate groaned like something waking from a long sleep. Her heart beat faster, not from fear, but from curiosity. Everyone in the village said the manor was cursed, but Elara wasn't here for superstition. She was here to find the truth about her mother's disappearance. The air that escaped was cold, too cold. Dust danced in her lantern light, the smell like old books and wet earth. Her boots echoed through the hall. Portraits lined the walls, their painted eyes followed her. At the end, a grand staircase spiraled upward, and from above came a faint sound. She froze. It couldn't be. No one knew her name here. She climbed the stairs. Each step moaned beneath her weight, echoing like a slow heartbeat. At the top was a long hallway of broken mirrors. Each reflection showed her lantern, but in every one, she stood a little closer to the end of the hall. At the final door, she found a small rusty key tied with a red ribbon. The same key her mother wore around her neck. She hadn't seen it since that night. Lightning flashed, and for a heartbeat, she saw a shadow behind her, tall, human, still. She turned, but the hallway was empty. Her fingers trembled as she unlocked the door. The key turned smoothly, like it had been waiting. Inside was a candle burning beside a cracked mirror. Written across the wall in her mother's handwriting, "Listen to the echoes, they remember." She stepped closer to the mirror. Her reflection smiled, but she didn't.
"Who are you?" she whispered. "I am what you left behind."
The candle flickered violently, then went out. The air turned heavy. She could feel breath, but not her own, on the back of her neck. She reached out to touch the mirror, and it rippled like water. Her hand sank through, and on the other side, she saw her mother, smiling, waiting. Elara stepped through the mirror. The world beyond was silent. No sound, no wind, only pale light. Everything shimmered, half real, half memory. She stood in a forest of glass trees. Each one whispered fragments of voices she knew. Her laughter, her mother's lullabies, her father's final words, the echoes of everything she'd lost. In the distance stood the manor again, glowing softly, and at its doorway, her mother. "Elara, you came back." Tears filled her eyes. "Where are we?" Elara asked. Where the forgotten live, and where the curious never return. Her mother smiled, fading like mist. Elara reached for her hand, warm at first, then cold. The world began to tremble. The warmth faded, and the realm dissolved into mist. When she opened her eyes, the manor was gone. Only an empty field stretched before her. The key lay in her palm, cold, lifeless. "Elara." She looked toward the horizon. For a moment, she thought she heard her mother's voice in the wind. Some doors led home, others led to the forgotten.
This has been Echoes of the Forgotten Realm. Thank you for listening. And remember, some echoes should never be answered.